No, you don't need to cycle. You can take it forever. I personally like cycling everything just because I think there's benefits to fluctuating your body and putting your body in a state where it lacks certain things to reset certain pathways, manipulate your biology, and then you can kind of super compensate by when you add it back in. Do you have a YouTube channel? Yes, I do. Link in bio. Such a great inspiration. Glad to hear it, brother. Do I day trade? I used to, not currently. I have a lot of NFTs. In terms of day trading stocks or crypto, not right now. But next market cycle, when crypto is going parabolic again, which probably won't be till 2024, 2025, I will probably be trading a bit because there's too much upside. And if you know how to manage your risk, it's just the exposure to the upside is just so worth whatever you're risking in the trading account. But as of this moment, no. I'm working on a few things, though. Multiple NFT collection founder, but I'm also working to build a decentralized application. And I'm really excited about it. But the coder hasn't even started building it yet. There's a lot I have to figure out. Once I park, I'm going to be spam answering questions. So get them in right now, ahead of time. Is that a spot? No, it's not. I fucked up here. That guy's probably gonna park in this one. I'm making this guy slam on his brakes because I'm going in reverse. About to scrape this car. The guy didn't park where I thought he would. Oh, okay. That was really serious. So, how long you be on ashwagandha before cycling off? I don't know, actually. Maybe a couple weeks. How's this for a Q&A? Oh, I don't know, maybe this. What would you do if you lived in a world where gyms didn't exist? I'd probably train at home, my guy. Or I'd just be some cucky little small fucking gamer. I don't know, I'd do some other shit. Still training intuitively right now? If so, planning on returning to a structured and organized program? Could you speak about the pros and cons of either from your perspective? Yes, still training intuitively. Yes, I plan to do strict programming at some point. But I'm not there right now, and I'm not looking to bulk in this moment. I'm enjoying the intuitive training, and there's massive benefits to training in a structured way because it's just much more beneficial. It's much more left brain, very just straightforward. Follow this and it'll work. That's how progressive overload works, and it takes a lot of the guesswork out. With intuitive training, you kind of have to be very aware of your body, and generally, people who train best intuitively have had long phases of structured programming that they were able to basically take those experiences, extrapolate them out, and then abstractly and loosely, use those experiences in their intuitive training, if that makes sense. Live on TikTok, is that a thing? I don't know anything about TikTok, bro. I have like 150 followers on there. I would do that if I had some fucking viewers on there. Next question. Do you think crypto is good for long-term investment? Absolutely. I think it's more of a currency for blockchain platforms. Well, what you have to understand is that there's many different types of tokens, and I can't even explain this properly. But there's tokens that function as currencies. There's tokens that function as governance protocols, not government. There's DeFi, decentralized finance tokens. There's utility tokens. There's governance tokens. There's asset representation tokens. That's not even the name for it. But there's many different types of tokens, and how the tokenomics, the token economics work within the ecosystem is very important to understand. Thailand when? Good question, man. Honestly, not right now. Not right now. As bad as I want to, I have a bigger picture, and we're waiting, and we're building, and we're releasing more NFTs, and we're building a decentralized application, and we're growing the portfolio, even though the portfolio is demolished. But we also understand how amazing of an opportunity this is with the market down this much to accumulate more coins, because the more you can get at a cheaper price, the more it compounds when it goes back to the upside, which again, might not be till 2024, 2025 till it seriously pumps to the upside. Shave chest hair or Nair, bro? Seems to break out when I shave. I shave, never use Nair. If you break out, it's probably your unstable skin cells. I would suggest not eating seed oils, minimizing the linoleic acid or polyunsaturated fatty acids that you're storing in your cells and you're building your cellular membranes out of. They're very unstable, easily oxidizable. They're gonna get all inflamed and shit and blow up when you try to shave them. If you use natural soap, if you get plenty of collagen, whether you're eating grass-fed beef or supplementing with grass-fed collagen peptides, just eating enough quality protein to build your cells out of quality materials, getting enough micronutrients, doing stuff like sauna, keep sweating, keep your pores clean, you should be able to shave much easier with less friction. But again, that's not an overnight fix. If your cells are built out of seed oils right now, it's going to take a long time to change that. But start now. All right, we're going to take a hit here, see how my thought process changes. Would going to Thailand with no plan for a week be a good idea? Really depends on the perception of the person you're asking. Could easily be a fun journey. I think a week is not long enough for how much Thailand has to offer. So there's that. How do you stop boron from producing lots of estrogen in the long run? I actually don't know. I really don't know. So are you basically saying, because I know boron is essentially a natural test booster, so I don't know how it's actually producing estrogen. Is it because it's actually the extra test that it produces is aromatizing into estrogen? Or there's some actual direct mechanism or pathway that actually creates estrogen I'm actually unaware of. But you can take things like, well, yeah, there's a lot to that actually. Jeff, have you been uploading on your subscription? I subscribe, haven't seen anything yet. No, I have not. I don't know if I'm going to do legit posts on the subscription. I think it's going to be more group chat interaction with all of you guys, if anything. Ibby, what's good, my gangster? How do I get lean? Stop eating more calories than you're burning and start burning more calories than you're eating. And it would be nice, would be beneficial to reduce certain ingredients that you're eating that are actually down-regulating your biology, making it harder for you. Do I take cold showers often? Not really. I did have a phase. I didn't have any negative effects on the dopamine system. I think it's definitely a potentiality. If you're taking psilocybin, and more likely your serotonin system, because psilocin, the active ingredient in psilocybin that binds to the serotonin receptor, it binds to serotonin. So again, there's still going to be cascading or vast neurochemical implications with that. One, it's natural. Two, you can't overdose on it. Three, you build a tolerance very quickly. Four, I don't know what the fourth point is, but basically what I'm saying is I think it's relatively safe, but I have phases where I take it every day, but I think you can burn yourself out a little bit, but not like crazy hard synthetic addictive drugs like heroin and coke and all that shit. That's gonna fuck your neurochemicals up way, way more. And if anything, I think small microdoses here and there are gonna help your neurochemical production. It's gonna create permanent new connections, neural connections in your brain, and just aid in neuroplasticity, neurogenesis, etc., etc. Best pan for cooking, dude. I don't even have like that great of pans. Most of the pans I have are actually like Teflon, and it's not good. That's like one area I could really be improving on. But Hexclad is a great one I've heard. Hexclad. Anything ceramic, stainless steel, cast iron. Do I use cold storage for crypto? Of course. Cold wallet. Yes, I use a Ledger Nano X. Take Dave to Thailand. We have talked about this. It will most likely happen eventually. He's down. I'm down. Matter of time. I use Nair. It's fine. Just don't burn yourself. Interesting. How do you burn yourself? By holding it on? By keeping it on too long? Bonnie, what's up? How are you? Thanks, man. No problem. Let's fucking go, Jeff. How are you, Conry. Overall, best oil for cooking, coconut avocados. Definitely not coconut oil. Unstable, easily oxidizable. When you cook with it, it's gonna smoke quickly, which means it's gonna denature and break down those fatty acids. Now, coconut oil is a superfood. It has some very quality, healthy fats, and it's also different from any other of the oils because it contains a lot of MCTs, medium chain triglycerides, and these interact with your biology, physiology differently, and they're absorbed very quickly. They feed your brain, they satiate your liver almost instantaneously. That's why it's great for like morning fast or the bulletproof coffee type of thing. Coconut oil feeds your brain healthy fats really quickly. But you don't want to cook with it. No cooking with avocado oil. No cooking with coconut oil. Cooking with coconut oil, you want to cook with something like avocado oil. And I wouldn't even cook high heat with olive oil because it's still going to hit your smoke point. Maybe like medium to low heat cooking, olive oil is cool. Olive oil is best like putting it on after you're cooking something, in my opinion. I cook with either any type of animal fat, so tallow, grass-fed butter, or avocado oil. You're going to be your best high heat cooking ingredients. Sell me something. Sorry, I don't sell drugs. Alex, how are you? What inspired me to start working out? Good question. I think I was just all insecure and shit. All small, lacked confidence, wanted to just feel better about myself, felt skinny. So I started. And here we are. Is everything you consume organic? Because isn't that kind of unrealistic for some people? Oh, absolutely unrealistic. What's your thoughts about washing produce or berries that are inorganic? No, I don't eat solely organic. And it's simply a fact of money. If money was not a question whatsoever, my stories would be wild. I would be going over the top, getting all kinds of wild, exotic shit. What I'm eating right now, like my diet right now, is so suppressed because of that. In the future, you will see though, it's gonna get crazy. I try to eat as much organic as possible. There's definitely times where I'm eating non-organic veggies and shit like that. And I personally, genuinely can feel, taste, notice the difference when I'm consuming pesticides, essentially. I think washing is probably good depending on what food it is, but yeah, generally you want to wash whatever, especially if it's inorganic. The thing is, if you're just washing with tap water, it's not doing that much. You need some like really potent like alkaline water or like, you know, reverse osmosis, something that's actually gonna like get those acids off. Do you save most of your carbs for post-workout before sleep? Yes, that's simply just because of my sleep schedule right now is crazy. I like training during this time. I kind of wake up, have a tiny meal, come here and train. But there's also some metabolic implications that, you know, for that as well. I like training high fat, high protein, low carb. How do you deal with dopamine, adrenal fatigue, considering all the stimulants and psilocybin you take? Do you take time off or do you just take less dose every day? So yes, one, and people I think underlook this a lot, is that you just get a plethora of micronutrients in. If you're eating really clean and healthy, you're giving your body all the ingredients and building blocks and materials it needs to fucking recover, to handle all this crazy caffeine every day, stimulants. The other thing is also just awareness of your body, being able to auto-regulate and say, okay, I took a Gorilla Mind Rush today, I deadlifted 565 for 5, I can feel my CNS kind of fucking got it clapped here, I can just kind of feel my brain's like a little taxed, a little drained, so I'm going to take a little bit of Gorilla Dream tonight because it's got chamomile, it's got lavender, it's got zinc, magnesium L-threonate, a chelated version of magnesium that's going to actually cross the blood-brain barrier. Actually, no, it doesn't. It has magnesium glycinate, but that also has its own benefits. So it's like feeding your body the real nutrients. People just look at things one for one. They look, oh, folic acid, that's the synthetic form of folate. They don't even realize that, right? But that's the point. They think 1 magnesium equals 1 magnesium. Not at all. Magnesium citrate, way less bioavailable. It's actually going to draw a lot of water into your GI tract. It's almost going to, if you take enough, it's going to act like a laxative. And then you're going to end up losing more minerals than when you started. Magnesium L-threonate, extremely bioavailable form. Going to cross the blood-brain barrier. Going to help your recovery way more and keeping your brain healthy than if you just take a bunch of amphetamines, take a bunch of psilocybin, train really heavy and hard, and think you're going to recover taking magnesium citrate. Completely different outcome. That's one example of one nutrient I'm saying. So, I'm burnt out. I'm paying attention to my body, and then I'm taking the quality things I need. So, at night, I know I need X amount of carbs and sugar to lower cortisol and lower adrenaline. You actually need some carbs and sugar to lower those at night. The Gorilla Cortisol blocker came in clutch for me recently. So it's all just paying the fuck attention, trying to learn as much as possible. And also, not killing yourself. Because there's motherfuckers, and I've had phases of this where I was less educated, where I was taking a pre with DMAA in it every single day. That's how you burn yourself out. Microdosing psilocybin here and there, and like eating really clean and taking caffeine every day, is taxing, but eating clean, getting good recovery, sleeping well, meditating, actually being able to manipulate your brainwave state is massive. So that's how I deal with dopamine adrenal fatigue. I know you seldom do prolonged fast. You have a certain fasting window on a daily basis. It's really just day-to-day intuitive based on when I wake up, how I'm feeling, what I'm trying to eat or not eat, what my plans are for the day, what I plan to train, how I feel, and just like having the foresight of, okay, I feel this way now based on waking up. I say have this many carbs stored. It's not that I quantify it, but it's an abstract quantification. I'm saying I have this many carbs stored in my muscle tissue. I feel like my liver is this degree satiated with glycogen. If I eat a sweet potato right now with a bunch of cinnamon and pink salt, maybe a little MCT oil, and a banana on the way to the gym to train upper, I'm going to feel great. Or maybe, or let's say lower in that example, lower body, because I need some more carbs and maybe a little protein. That's going to be perfect. And so that would be a complete delineation from let me eat a bunch of, I don't know, something really sugary, right? A bunch of honey and and again, I'm not saying that you can never do that pre-workout. I'm saying based on the parameters I just gave, I'm gauging how I feel. And so it's it's interesting, but it's just a complete intuitive analysis, and you can build that out over time, but you got to try. Let's see. So it's really not certain fasting window whatsoever, but it's all day to day, moment to moment, let's be honest. Why did you want to gain all this knowledge? It's interesting because I didn't care at first, right? So let's go to the 8th principle. This is the lost principle. Some people don't even consider it a principle of the laws of nature, or Hermetic philosophy in this case, which is the generative principle. This is the G in the squares and compasses logo of Freemasonry. This is what the G stands for in a lot of, and again, there's many interpretations. It means much more than this, but I'm saying the generative principle is care. It's true heart-based intelligence. This is the causal factor that will drive you to cultivate your thoughts, emotions, actions, therefore what you create and manifest. So what does that mean? What I'm saying is, at first I didn't really care about gaining all this knowledge. You said, why did you want to gain all this knowledge? I didn't really care. I didn't have that heart-based intelligence. I didn't have that true care. Because think about it. What you care about on a day-to-day basis sets the tone and the precedent for your thoughts, and therefore your emotions, therefore your actions. If you don't care about it, you're not going to think about it, you're not going to feel about it, and you're not going to do about it. So at first I didn't care. That's why the knowledge gain was so low. And as I started to gain more knowledge, I started to understand that gaining knowledge is very important and intricately intertwined with goals that I have. You want to get bigger muscles and get stronger to feel confident because you're insecure. Well, you probably have to learn. You have to probably gain knowledge of how to fucking get the bigger muscles. Whether it's how to train properly, squeeze the muscle properly, how to do an efficacious full workout, or how to eat properly to recover. You have to gain that knowledge. And so there are many goals that I have, you could say. And that's why I had to gain the knowledge. And I started to care more and more. My heart-based intelligence, my true care for these goals increased. How do I spread my carbs? It's really fucking intuitive day to day. Don't have a fucking structured one-size-fits-all answer. It's literally, I wake up, I have generally a high-fat, moderate to high-protein meal with maybe a little bit of complex carbs, whether that's sourdough bread or sweet potato. I really don't even eat rice as my first meal because I come train shortly after, and I want the more complex carbs because I need more sustain. If I eat rice or again anything sugary, it's gonna spike my insulin, and I'm gonna be fucking. When was the last time you consumed a megadose of those yummy, delicious seed oils? I ate a whole pizza like a month ago, honestly. Now, it was with olive oil, but I still don't really trust what was in it all that much. But it was not like a low-level Domino's. It was better than that. Any benefits in taking Shilajit with coconut oil first thing in the morning, or better to consume with some food? There's definitely a very scientific, articulate answer. I doubt science even has all of this mapped out. In fact, I'm very confident that's the case. But there's probably benefits to doing both. A lot of the elements and minerals are going to be synergistic, and you do want to consume it with food. But there are definitely metabolic and biological implications for when you take them on fasted as well. So I've done both. You've probably seen my story. That's why you're asking. The Shilajit and coconut oil. It's gonna upregulate the fasting state and some of those mechanisms of action and pathways in certain ways. Can I actually explain that? Definitely can't. I can just feel it and then attempt to believe that that's the case. But again, you're just listening to some guy, so who knows? Oh boy. Where do you source most of your fats? It's gonna be avocado oil. It's gonna be pasture-raised eggs, grass-fed beef, real avocados, extra virgin olive oil, grass-fed butter, and seldom little nuts here and there. Brazil nuts, little bit of almonds, walnuts, but that's pretty much all my fat intake. And then sometimes like some nice bacon. Speaking of water, are you stingy with your water quality? Stingy, I wonder? Yeah, you did mean that. What water did you drink? Are you concerned with buying water in plastic bottles? So it's definitely very important. I have a reverse osmosis water filter, AquaTrue, that I got the idea from Thomas, my boy Thomas, and David. They both have it, and when I was using theirs, I was like, there's definitely something different here. It feels cleaner. I'm starting to have crazy potent dreams. The first week I got my AquaTrue, I had just insane, wildly vivid dreams. And it's another part of the reason why I take so much Shilajit, because it chelates excess minerals that we're overloaded with. We're under attack, boys. They're loading us. If you're eating processed food, they're loading us up with synthetic iron, synthetic folate, and it's gonna wreck you over time. So, and it's in the water, all this extra calcium and shit. You don't want it. You're drinking mini rocks. It's hard water, and this accumulates in your cells as waste, and it fucks you up. So what I'm saying is, yes, I'm very important. It's very important, the water. And I only switched to glass pretty recently. So it's all a stepwise progression. It's all a phase. You don't have to just go all out. Like you see me promoting, oh yeah, reverse osmosis, only drink this. I don't drink tap water. I don't even drink the Gems water. If I run out of this reverse osmosis, yes, I will buy a bottle and drink out of plastic, but it's something that I personally try to minimize. Doesn't mean I will never drink a plastic bottle of water. It's not that ridiculous. And it's a stepwise progression. So just because I'm saying I do all this doesn't mean you can't start by just slowly trying to drink more bottled or spring water instead of reverse osmosis. I mean, instead of tap water, hard water. And slowly ease into it. See how you feel. If you don't care, you don't care, right? That's simple. How are most of your days scheduled? My sleep schedule is also fucked. It's literally wake up, have small meal 1, do some computer stuff for like an hour, not that long. Take a hot shower, come here, train, go home, eat, work all night till sleep. Work, study, etc., computer. And especially winter right now, the nature exposure, the sun exposure is low and not the best, but that's my current situation. Best way to attract low quality females with my aesthetic physique. Well, it looks like your mind's already on that paradigm, so I don't think you need any tips from me. But, yeah. About to smoke a blunt? No, I would never. Just kidding. I used to, but I don't really consume tobacco or nicotine like that these days. Experience with a raloxifene for gyno. Never used it. A24 Studios movie cinematography. Interesting. I will have to look into that, maybe. You're trying to troll me. I'm not going to say it. Dave probably influenced you to take shit tons of DMA and pre. A little bit. But I'm not going to blame him for that. That was my responsibility. I allowed him to influence me. Or did it work that way? I don't know. But we have reformed our ways. And I'll even give him credit. He's less stim fiend than I am these days. So if we're just going to solely blame him, then why wouldn't I have come off when he came off? Does that make sense? Knees over toe guys, information about fixing your knees, aka backward walking, ask to grass split squats on resources tab in the Discord. All right, DM it to me and I will see if I truly resonate with it. And if I do, then I will add it to the Discord. My brain is forever different now. Me too, bro. It's good stuff, hopefully. Hopefully that is a positive statement, not a negative one. Favorite ways to meditate. Binaural beats, isochronic tones, headphones on or speakers. Headphones are more potent, but sometimes you just don't want anything on your head. And I like lay down. Sometimes my torso is like propped up, but I like laying down, eyes closed. Very clear delineation between sleeping and meditative state. But and just breathe, son. Awareness on your thoughts. Awareness on your breath. And you just begin to let the thoughts flow instead of jumping on every thought, identifying with it, attaching to it. You kind of just let it flow through. And then you can reach a point where, I can reach a point where, and you have the potentiality to as well, just become thoughtless and just like disappears. No thoughts, but you're not asleep, but your mind just like blank. It's very rejuvenating. You can come out of that almost like it's a new day. Mentally speaking. Promise word. Do you get any negative effects from daily or almost daily use of MJ? There's definitely negative effects. Do you always use before sleep pre-workout? No, so I don't really rely on it for sleep at all. I actually don't want to make that statement because I'm not someone who like has to smoke right before they go to sleep. If I have smoked earlier, it's already gonna say aid in me falling asleep, if that makes sense. But there's days where I don't smoke at all. Those are much more rare because I just enjoy smoking before training. I train way better. But there's definitely negatives. It really does flip a switch in you. And yeah, there's just a lot we could go into on that actually. For the better and for the worse. So there's a polarity to it, so you have to kind of understand what benefits you're getting, what negatives you're getting. Damn, it's already 7. I'm sitting here fucking yapping the fuck away. The pre is already in my veins, but that's okay. These things happen. Would I go through times of not using? Yes, I would, but I wouldn't lie to you guys. I haven't had a phase of not in quite some time, so not the best. I think I almost hit 275 at 160 after PR 245 triple. Okay, I just completely did not read that properly. Almost hit 275 and 160 after you hit 245 for 3. Do you think you have it in you? It's hard to say, right? It's like, I don't have the answer. Everyone's different. Some people are great at reps. Some people are great at 1 rep maxes. So I don't know who you are. I've never seen you train. Generally, can you hit 275? If you've hit 245 for 3, generally it's gonna be pretty close. N. What is that? I remember hearing what that is. Taking the Deems. I don't know. I think you're trolling me. What do you mean by Deems? I think you're trolling, right? Mindset when training. Interesting one. This is an interesting question that's actually making me think. I don't have a mindset. That's not true. But I'm saying I've never identified with or even thought about this is my mindset when training. When I'm training, I'm just it's more of a flow state, right? So, I don't know. I could definitely go into that at some point, but I'm not feeling extremely called to throw out any specific data to you guys right now. All right, we're gonna have to end this very soon. Appreciate you boys. You're all legends. You helped me a lot too, just to be clear. Would you recommend building a strong foundation through the key compound lifts for a novice lifter, or making sure all exercises are optimal for muscle building? Speak around this, please. Yes, so novice lifter, again, not a one-size-fits-all answer. It depends what you really care about. But let's say you just want to get stronger and build muscle overall, long-term. It's pretty general that most people will agree with. Both. But you definitely do want to build a strong foundation, because the second is, or making sure all exercises are optimal for muscle building. If you zoom out enough from the equation, you will realize that all of those compounds are optimal enough for muscle building, because you need to hit all those stabilization muscles in your core, around your scapula, and you're not going to be able to really isolate those. So you have to do those compound lifts to build up the foundation, and then you use that strength that you've acquired from the compounds, and you use the strength in a higher rep range and in a more isolation setting to actually build the muscle and shape. So definitely build a foundation with compounds. Doesn't mean you can't be doing isolations after your compounds. Doesn't mean you just have to do squat, bench, deadlift straight for 3-6 months when first starting training. That's definitely not the case. Do both within reason. And you can have phases where you kind of lean more into just shooting for the compounds and strength and really nailing the foundation down, and then phases where you can kind of focus more on isolation. I'm way more isolation right now, but I've been training for 7+ years, so that is not a novice lifter's, shouldn't be a novice advice for a novice lifter. What toothpaste do you use? Bro, I'm torn on this. I don't even have a great brand. I kind of just switch back and forth from different fluoride-free ones. Tom's of Maine. I don't even trust them. I think they're owned by some big dark occult organization, right? It's big corporations, they'll just jump on the next thing, right? It's BPA free. When everyone starts to realize BPA, xenoestrogens, kind of bad. The big corporation, BPA free. It's just got BPX, right? Some other tweaked thing because it's still cheap. Not even saying they're intentionally doing it to hurt us, although in some cases that may be the case, but I think more often than not it's just about money and convenience. So it's Tom's of Maine, big fucking in all these stores, it's fluoride free. Okay, but what else? What else is in it, type of thing? And I haven't looked into it that deep, I'm saying. And the OK Hello or whatever, coconut oil, fluoride free toothpaste, it's just Sometimes I will just use coconut oil and/or baking soda, and that's good as well. But right now, just ran out of Tom's of Maine the other day, if you want my direct answer. Piggyback off that, I would say this point, would you say at this point, would you say a TRT dose just to be high-level natty going to be beneficial to us in the future due to everything we consume and by design? I can't answer this, and I'm not going to, simply because I don't know how old you are, and that's really the biggest part of this. I'll speak about myself. I just turned 26, and I'm on test. And you can argue that's quite early. And I've already been on tests since before 26. And I was thinking about this earlier today. Being on this low dose test has been one of the best decisions I've ever made. In this moment, you have to understand, I'm still so zoomed in to my young early 20s. So I'm experiencing all these massive benefits right now, whether it's increased physique, strength, confidence, the aura that you emit, that you actually attract back, that reflects back to you, right? All those are massive benefits. Who's to say though, what does my future hold, right? And I can't speak on that. All I can do is try to be relatively safe about it and have the foresight that longevity is going to become more and more important to me over time, as I think it will with anyone. Hopefully you can extrapolate this example for yourself. But what I'm saying is the earlier you get on, the higher risk you have. I think it's very smart to, like you say, oh, there's a bunch of shit that they're giving us to lower our test. Totally true. But so the answer isn't just, oh, hop on tests, hop on gear, pharmaceuticals, right? It's actually just get rid of that shit that they're fucking you up with. Start eating really clean. Optimize your natural testosterone as much as possible. People have no idea the difference they can make in their biology by implementing natural shit. Like, there's a reason that, like, we're convinced, like, oh, natty test, like, that shit doesn't work. Like, a lot of the products are scams, but then there's also an incentive to push that narrative. Oh, don't try to increase your test, Nat. Come on, don't do that. Like, it's all good, guys. Just eat your fast food, eat your soybean oil, and be a slave for us. Be a little battery in the matrix. So what I'm saying is you have a lot of power to increase your tests on your own. Stop eating processed food, refined seed oils. If you're young, you don't have to commit to test. Just increase your natty test. You're going to feel the best, honestly. Because I would say there's negatives, even in this moment, for me taking tests. There's like this degree of bogged downness and whatnot. Very increased in energy too, but there's polarity to it is what I'm saying. And wait as long as possible, hopefully till your mid-30s. But again, there's benefits to taking it in your 20s. But there's negatives too, so be careful. And so what I'm saying is get your natty test up, stop eating seed oils, start training hard, consume Shilajit, consume all the micronutrients, pasture raised grass-fed shit. You're gonna feel super high test. So you don't have to be a victim of the system. Yes, it's extremely hard to get it all out, and you won't. We're exposed to environmental toxins every day regardless. Look at these cars, right? We're consuming this industrialized shit every day. Multifaceted attack. Sourdough bread is gas. Facts. How often do I deadlift? About once a week. Opinion on Andrew Tate, top tier individual, has taught me so much about masculinity, confirmed a lot of high level knowledge that I was kind of already intuitively, abstractly aware of, but couldn't really piece it together. I think anyone who's against him is just extremely ignorant. They're ignorant, they lack knowledge, and they are generally the normies who are manipulated by the Matrix and the mainstream narrative. They see one or two clips of a soundbite of him talking, cut out of context, of like some of the most flamboyant, crazy shit he says, which if you're not a normie and you actually have awareness, you can actually zoom out and understand that you can just see the bigger picture. You can see, okay, he's trying to cultivate a following. He's trying to imprint on this collective consciousness. He understands psychology. So he's going to say very brash, abrasive things to get a bunch of people mad about it, because there's still, all publicity is good publicity. And you can be aware of his awareness of that, and then it becomes less offensive, some of the things he says. I don't agree with every single thing he says. A lot of the things he say also just simply don't apply to me, because I'm not a 100 millionaire, like grown man, right? There's differences. But what I'm saying is a lot of what he says has been extremely valuable and has helped me a lot. And I think more people should consume his content, because he's definitely breaking people free mentally. And there's definitely a war on masculinity. People are getting demolished. Men's depression is just at an all-time high. Like, I can just sense it too. I can just see it. The past couple years, ever since 2020, it's really gotten worse. And yeah, good guy, honestly, legend. He's devoted his life to really helping humanity, and normies will not see that, and they never will, and they will allow other people to convince them otherwise. because of their lack of awareness, naivete, and ignorance. Do you meal prep or just cook all your meals? I cook most of my meals. Sometimes there'll be some leftover, or I cook extra and I eat it like later that day or the next day. All right, guys. I just realized I've been in here for way too fucking long. So I really am going to call it here. And it's time to go train legs. Thank you all for your questions. I really